Really super tender. Really delicious. Sticky sweet, little bit of spice. Wow. Welcome back once again to howtocookgreatfood.com. On the menu today, and as you can see here, look at that. Just out of the oven, still really hot. We're going to do some pork ribs in the oven. Barbecue pork ribs in the oven. We're going to trim it up a little bit. We're going to add a fantastic dry rub to it, cook it away. Then we're going to get another glaze made and get that all over it. Back in the oven, superb. These are delicious. Let's go and take a look at the ingredients that we need. Okay, let's take a look at our ribs first of all. What I've got here is 1.5 kg of ribs. Give it a wash. Well, I gave mine a wash. It came in a sort of packet, so I gave it a bit of a wash there. And then what we need to do is trim up any little bits of fat. You want to get them off. Let me turn this over. So I'm going to just trim it up just a little bit. Now, there's a membrane usually on this. This doesn't seem to have it. It seems to be taken off. But if there is any membrane, which looks like just a very thin layer of transparently kind of skin, you need to get that off as well, which is quite difficult. But this one actually looks quite good. I'm just going to trim that up a bit. I'll be back in a moment. Okay, so as you can see, I've got in there and got as much fat off as I can. Now, you do need some fat on it. Don't go crazy with it. The fat is actually good, but usually when you buy it, it's got a bit too much fat on it. I did have a little bit of membrane on it, which I got off. The membrane, like I say, is like a kind of plastic, like a clear, it's like cling film or shrink wrap that's kind of on it. Just flip it over. And as you can see, trimmed down, very nice. Look, I got all that off it. All of that come off, which is just a bit, it's just a bit too much fat. Anyway, what you need to do now is you need to get some kitchen paper or kitchen towel or a cloth and pat it dry. It needs to be nice and dry now. We don't want any moisture on it. Next up, we're going to look at our dry rub. So let's take a look at our dry rub. Now you can adjust this how you want. Add some other bits and pieces. I'm just using this today. There's actually 8 items there. Looks like 7, but salt and pepper makes 2. Now, all of the list of ingredients are going to be in the text below. So I've basically got equal parts here of chili powder, cumin powder, paprika, salt, pepper, garlic powder, fennel powder, which I think is fantastic in this. If you can get fennel, it's really good, and celery salt. We're just going to give that a little mix, then we're off. Okay, so there's our dry rub. And like I say, there's 1,000 things that you could add to that. Different herbs and spices, onion powder, you know, it's up to you. I just like this one. So I've patted that dry. What we're going to do is sprinkle this over. And just with my hand, I'm just going to rub it in as much as I can. And then I'm going to flip her over and then do the other side. And the next stage is we're going to put this into some foil, some silver foil or aluminium foil, and we're going to get it in the oven. So give it a nice coating, try and get everywhere you can, even up the sides and in all nooks and crannies. And some people put tons of this stuff on, like, you know, a really massive thick layer. I don't really find that too necessary. But yeah, this is going to be fabulous, really good. Okay, let me just finish this off, then we can move on to the next step. Okay, so I've got it now on some aluminium foil, silver foil, whatever you call that. Doesn't look fantastic at the moment because it's so reflective, this on the camera. So there's our dry rub. We're going to cover this over as much as we can. I might need another piece on this perhaps. You'll see, might need a centre piece. Oh, that looks alright actually. Anyway, that's going to go in the oven. So preheated oven, 285F, which I think is about 140C. Gas mark, no idea. I'll leave that below. That needs to go in the oven for 2 hours. middle shelf. Okay, so while our ribs are in the oven, let's just get our brush, which is going to make it really nice and sticky. Now, if you want, you can just get some barbecue sauce. That'll do the trick. I'm just doing this, and this is a really simple, no cook. You don't need to cook this, you can just mix it. We've got equal parts of honey, ketchup, oyster sauce. The oyster sauce is beautiful on it, so I really do recommend it. And then I've got just a little bit of, that's actually a really, really hot pepper sauce. You could use something a little bit more mild, like, you know, maybe Tabasco or something. I mean, that's like 5 times as hot as Tabasco. Simply, we're going to give that a little mix. Like I say, no need to cook it. And then we're going to brush that on once the ribs come out and pop it back in the oven. And that's what's going to give it that lovely glaze and stickiness. And there you go, just mix that together. That's a beautiful, beautiful glaze, I think. Right, I'm going to go and have a cup of tea, wait for our ribs. Okay, look at that, beautiful. That's been 2 hours. What we're going to do now, and by the way, it's already super tender. I mean, really, really good. What we're going to do now is get rid of this foil and just get it onto the rack there. So I'll put it onto that rack, and there's a tray underneath that, which if anything drips on it, it will catch it. We've got our beautiful sauce. Now look, that was inside the foil, that beautiful juice. I'm going to put a little bit of that in there. Just about half of it, and mix that in. And then I'm going to get a brush, and we're going to brush this over. That's beautiful. So what we're going to do now is that's going to go back in the oven on a high heat. Just get your oven really high now for about 15-20 minutes. We're done. Okay, and there you go. That is fall off the bone, beautiful. Takes bloody ages, but really, really worth it. Hope you enjoyed that. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel. We'll see you soon. Lots of love.